try to find mistakes, try to find great things too. And that way, if she needs to fix them, she can before she puts them in her portfolio. Okay?
So then I'm ready. Are we doing the critique sheet thing again?
I am just doing the critique, and then you will critique yourself later on video.
Okay, so for my design for Edita Kozlowskis, I wanted to focus, or my main focus, was on pared down forms and the use of a variety of line, both horizontal, vertical, and then curved versus straight. And my first one, my inspiration images, this one, I just, whenever you think mid-century modern, obviously you think of chairs a lot because there are a lot of new chairs were invented. So this one I actually used in my space, but the rest of them were just, I thought were really inspirational. This one is just some examples of some pattern tiles that were used a lot in mid-century modern, and I ended up using a lot of tile. This one also, mid-century is just what I think of when I think of mid-century modern, just big color, like not necessarily a lot of color, but just big color whenever they use it. And also this red I ended up using in my space. First in my kitchen, this is where a lot of my curved and straight lines come in, the juxtaposition of curved and straight lines come into play. Like in my sink, my sink is curved on the corners. I didn't want like a completely straight, even though mid-century modern is a lot about straight line. I wanted the mixture of curved and straight line. I have a refrigerator and dishwasher that are both under counter, or my refrigerator's under counter, because I thought that even though she's going to be cooking, I didn't think that she needed too much space for just her being a single lady, so she just has an under counter refrigerator and a smaller dishwasher. For my backsplash, I used a stainless steel. I ended up using a lot of stainless steel in my design, including the trim that you can see right here. Well, probably not from where you are, but I used a small stainless steel trim at the top for my ceiling trim, and then for my bottom trim, I ended up using a wood trim that's painted with this pale slate blue that I also thought was mid-century modern, not a usual color used. So I used, in the kitchen / sitting area, I used this red and this muted yellow, which I also included in the rug, the Scandinavian style rug that's in the sitting area and the kitchen, actually, because along with my juxtaposition of curved and straight line, I wanted the kitchen and sitting area to also be juxtaposed so that they would flow together, so that Edita could move around easier throughout both spaces. So as you can see in my floor plan, I did the island that is both in the kitchen, and then goes off into a bench for her family to sit at, connected to a table where they can all eat together, and then the TV is right here, so it's like a mixture of dining and sitting area. This is my floor tile that I used in both the kitchen and sitting area. It's a porcelain tile that is good with radiant floor heating, and also slightly textured so that it's slip resistant, and a matte finish. In my bathroom, I didn't use a whole lot of color, obviously. I just used the blue and some wood and neutrals, but I wanted to focus more on the emphasis of color on this one, because the blue is the only color, so it's more emphasized. This one, I also used a lot of straight line with the light fixtures. I thought these were very mid-century modern with the pared down forms and simplistic lines and simplistic materials with stainless steel, which I used, which goes with the rest of my design. This is her toilet with the washlet attachment, which she asked for, and her vanity is it's a floating vanity, so it's completely open underneath, so it'll be easy for her to access. And as far as other lighting goes, besides these sconces, I have a mirror that has backlighting, so she can see all the way around herself, which I really wanted because of my design. It's kind of like a nook for her sink, so I wanted plenty of lighting just for her sink area. And then for my washer dryer, They're under counter, they're not covered, because there wasn't enough room for her to be able to open cabinets, but this is the type of washer and dryer. And it's for her shower. I wanted to, once again, go with the pared down forms, so there's no frame around it, it just has clasp at the top, right here and here, and at the bottom to hold it, so it just kind of looks like it's floating, just like the vanity is, and the mirror kind of gives a floating look because of the light behind it, so it just kind of looks like it's hanging there. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention in the kitchen about my lighting, or sitting area, is I also wanted to create a lot of natural lighting with the use of big windows, and which was seen a lot in mid-century modern with like huge floor-ceiling windows. I wanted to give her a little bit of privacy, so I didn't want to use whole wall windows, but I gave her some grid windows, some pretty big ones, because I'm sure she's, the elderly kind of like to look outside, look at nature and all that. So she has some big windows right next to her dining area, and also all along the top are some skinny windows right above the door frame that run along the whole wall. And then this is her induction cooktop that won't burn her and has a lock on it. I found a lot that had multiple burners, but I thought, or more than just 4 burners, but I thought she might not have ever used one of those before, so it might be kind of confusing, might give her a little grief, but so I just stuck with a 4 burner cooktop with the pot filler above it. Alright, so does anyone have any questions?
So is that the tile all the way around the in your bathroom, the blue?
Yeah, the blue goes all the way around the wall, like right, it goes above the sink, which is here. It would be right there, right above the sink, and then the subway tile goes from floor to ceiling.
Okay.
And on the bottom, or on the floor, these are my 2 different tiles. This is for her shower tile, and this is the rest of the floor tile.
I love your idea. Your bathroom is not a square. I like the nook idea because everyone, in my head, it had to be a square to fit everything into it. So I like that you were open enough to not, have that.
Yeah, I kind of had to. It ended up being like that, it just wouldn't fit unless I did something like that.
Yeah, I think your layout's really good in both bathroom and kitchen. You thought really outside the box. I think I like how the colors are a lot different, the blue and then the red in the kitchen, the blue in the bathroom, definitely for the locations that they're in and the use of that. I think with what you were saying at the beginning with the big color and the contrast of color, I think you could do a bigger contrast of color in the kitchen. Like I like the red, but I feel like you could pop it more.
Yeah, I agree with it's like the red, and then along with the very red based wood, and so there's not as much contrast. It's just kind of it blends together, which it blends well, but
For the mid-century modern look.
Question, what is it over here in the corner, the top right corner? It says something, but I can't read it.
Oh,
Is
right
that where her,
here?
yes, is
Yeah,
that her
that's
sausage
her
maker?
sitting area for her sausage stuffing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the picture right here.
Oh, gotcha.
And I don't know about your refrigerator. I understand what you're saying, she's older, she's not gonna be, but she is gonna be still cooking for the whole family.
Mhm.
And I like that the smaller refrigerator. I think that's a neat idea, but I don't know if it suits everybody.
Yeah, I thought about putting a freezer, like a drawer freezer in somewhere, but there just wasn't room. Or I thought there might have been room under my island, but I also thought she needed a lot more just cabinet storage in general because her cabinets are so small.
Mhm.
So I put more cabinet storage under the island.
You might look for a 14 cubic foot. So I think it's one of the smallest uprights. You have 18 cubic foot, but I think 14 cubic foot would look good in hers. And
Refrigerator.
mm-hmm.
Also, another reason that I did under counter was because I needed more counter space next to my sink for codes
Okay.
or requirements.
Makes sense.
Codes. I'll tell you.
Let's see. Also, like a lot of the trim idea is really cool because in looking at mid-century modern stuff, you find appliances, cabinets, different things are trimmed with that little piece of stainless like that. I think that's a really cool idea for trim on the wall itself.
I like the board layout.
Mm-hmm.
I like that backsplash, the stainless steel one.
I like the direction you went in with the, instead of doing like a American mid-century modern, how it incorporates the Scandinavian, like with the, like straight lines and everything. I like it.
I thought the island was a cool idea. I liked how it was very versatile to where it's got the island, but then also the bench that is the seating area for family, along with it being an area to be able to see the television and enjoy that. So I think that was a really good idea. I like that a lot.
Good use of space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah. All right.
I'll give you my